out far. Daddy, here comes fun. By the scale voice screaming right into your ear holes. Rattles the bones to rattle out its stones. It took a 5 step through a variety of stones. You'll know what the heck, but won't stay dead as a card in a nutshell. Learning hell. It's the Children Skeletons Podcast. The Children Skeletons Podcast. The Children Skeletons Podcast. The Children Skeletons Podcast. The Children Skeletons. Welcome back to the Skelly Belly fun time. The Skelly Belly Yellow Belly fun time. It's me with Adam and Dylan.
What up?
Yeah.
Yeah, you didn't expect that one, did you? Dylan, what do you have to say?
I just wanted to say real quick, I shaved my dick yesterday.
Your dick?
Yeah.
Was your dick fucking like, was the hair just like going outwards towards your dick?
Yeah, like it was going halfway up the shaft and like sprouting out.
That's fucking disgusting, Dylan.
That's horrifying.
You need to kill
That's horrible.
Dylan, you need to kill yourself. I'm just imagining like you know those things you see like in water, those like things that look like wheat. You know those like weird things.
No, I'm thinking of more like when a mushroom is growing out of the ground and the grass has to grow around.
Dylan, what would you do if there was a nice big long Rapunzel hair coming right out of your urethra?
I would grab it. I would yank it as hard as possible.
Oh.
Okay,
oh, dude,
so
no, I had a dream the other day that like somebody sewed my penis head shut.
Is this cock and ball torture that the kids are
we're like 30 seconds into this podcast and already it's just fucking psychotic. It's just turning my stomach.
Listen, it's fine.
Jesus Christ.
So what happened, Dylan? What was complicated with this?
Okay, so
positive change. Was it a positive change?
No. Not at all, actually. But so what would happen is in the dream, you know, you would jerk off multiple times,
as you
and
do.
so cum would just build up inside of you, but it wouldn't actually come out, and so you just get this big bloated like chip going.
What the fuck?
And then eventually you can just snip that.
I think the more pertinent thing is peeing, Dylan. I think that's the more pertinent thing. If mine was sewn shut, I would probably be like, I'm not gonna try to keep up that for.
Yeah, I feel like there's more urgent things at hand here.
At that point, you would just have to like drill a hole. And
drill.
Okay. Listen.
Literally the worst option. The drill. Stick it directly in.
Okay, if I may, for everyone who's fucking clicking off the podcast right now, why don't we talk about something?
You're dicking off.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the real issues here. Some news in the world of true crime happened.
Fine. What true? As opposed to the world of fake crime that they made up.
So, this is going to sound like I'm lying, alright?
Okay, you're lying.
Dylan,
you're just lying.
Dylan, I already don't believe you, whatever this is.
You can Google this, you can look it up. This is 100%
I'm gonna cross-reference you like I'm doing a fucking
Please.
presidential debate right now.
Please do.
Yeah, sure.
So, Ted Bundy, right? His
Okay.
family, his daughter, she has gone through so much to hide her identity. Her fucking daughter, like Ted Bundy's granddaughter, outed her entire family on TikTok by doing a family celebrity check. And showed pictures of them with Ted Bundy when she was a baby. And just ruined years, a lifetime of hiding and getting out of the public eye by being like, celebrity family check. And it's just her with Ted Bundy.
Son of a bitch, it's true. I'm looking at it right now.
This
it's
is
an
something
article.
that could only have happened 2016 onwards. Before that, I literally could not have conceived this in any universe. Now it's like, yeah, totally.
And, dude, you know what sucks though?
What?
Dude, his daughter's hot.
What do you mean? Yeah.
I'm looking at her now.
No, not the teenager. No, wrong. No.
one.
His daughter, not the daughter, not the granddaughter.
What's so grand
Nice save, Dylan.
No, not the.
Let me look up his daughter.
I don't think. But no,
you just said his daughter's hot.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, so
Is she? I don't. Well, he was fairly attractive. I mean, he was okay.
He was a
He looked like Zac Efron.
He
apparently.
looked a little like... It's funny, because his name is Ted Bundy, and he looks a little like Al Bundy from Married with Fucking Children. Do you ever think about that title?
Oh.
Married with Children.
That's the kind of reference only you can make. What the fuck?
Married with Children. I want a remake of that in like fucking Saudi Arabia or the title. Yeah,
why is the world such a fucking nightmare now?
No.
Like Ted Bundy's family is on TikTok. Fucking like.
I want something like that with Charles Manson. I want to see so.
What the fuck is what kind of timeline is this? What the hell is going on?
Fantastic.
What have we done?
We've got Bernie Sanders on the Joe Rogan podcast.
No, he wasn't.
Yes, he was. It's #1 on trending right now.
No, he's not on a Joe Rogan.
He is.
Bernie Sanders is the last human being.
Look it up. Look it up.
I'm on trending on YouTube right now. Let me. I'm looking at it right now, and there's a video called "I spent 24 hours straight at Area 51" from someone called Mr. Beast.
Bernie Sanders. Joe Rogan.
This is the fucking dumbest.
Dylan,
right
we're never going to believe anything you say ever.
It literally happened.
I'm looking at the trending tab. It's the usual. It's Love Island. It's Stephen Colbert. It's fucking music videos.
There it is. I love how even in the thumbnail of this video, he's playing the air bongos. He's playing a little thing.
He's always doing some crazy.
I am going to. Under my new legislation.
Who posted this 50 times?
Bernie Sanders to drop freaky UFO knowledge on Joe Rogan ? Freaky UFO is capitalized.
Of course, it's capitalized.
What kind of psychopath?
Under my new legislation.
Dylan, that's not.
He can't make legislation, though. He's not president yet.
I am going to give everyone a Minecraft girlfriend. Minecraft girlfriend.
It seems like it wouldn't be that hard to just program in somebody to come to you.
Dylan, I'm trying to put my finger on who your impression reminds me of, but it's not Bernie Sanders, but it reminds me of someone.
It's
fucking hell. Keep doing it.
Okay, what should I say?
I'm gonna ask you a question.
Keep talking about Minecraft.
Okay.
In Minecraft. Wait, hold on.
No, polar bears? What the fuck?
It sounds like if, like...
Did you know that in Minecraft...
All the Minecraft diamonds are going to the top 1%.
I logged on to Minecraft for the first time in 3 years.
What was that, Irish, Dylan?
And
for the first time. It sounds like you're doing like Billy Connolly or something.
And they have polar bears.
They do have polar bears. That fucks.
Dude,
why do they have polar bears?
Because Notch is gone and they can do as they please.
Yeah, the world
the top 1%. The top 1% of Minecraft players have all the diamonds in the world.
Dylan, we hear you.
Don't dig down. I tell you it's a bad idea.
Don't you ever dig down.
What would you do if Bernie Sanders walked on stage at a rally and just began singing Diggy Diggy Hole?
I am a dwarf and I'm digging a hole.
and the applause just get uproarious, just get louder, but whatever.
He instantly wins.
Speaking of Diggy Diggy Hole and nothing related to that, fucking feral ass seagulls outside my house. Let me tell you.
Hell yeah.
I've been trying to find a way to describe this, and I've specifically because I used the exact description I would use for this on the last podcast, and I want to come up with something better, but I can't come up with something better. Last podcast I said something like the blinding rage of a school shooter. That is what I feel towards fucking seagulls. And to be fair, it's been so long since we recorded the last podcast, the seagulls aren't a problem anymore. They're not really here. They've left. But there was a time when there was a fucking nest of seagulls on top of the little apartment building I live in.
A nest of seagulls. That's horrible.
And they would fucking terrorize us, and like at first I was annoyed. I was like, this is not good. I would be fucking looking out the window. They would be staring at me. And I looked up, is it illegal to kill a seagull? And it is. It's also illegal to move their fucking nest anyway, so they can just lay their nest on your fucking dying grandma.
I would have thought they're classified as like vermin.
Yeah, they should be. They should fucking be.
How
I
much
think they
shit
are. I
do
think
they
they are
give
here.
off?
Should. Okay.
How much shit do they give off?
A lot. But that's not the biggest problem. It's their shrieks, because the nest is right
Oh,
outside
yeah.
my window. And when it's summer, and it's like 40,000 degrees outside, you have to sleep with your window open. And so
Yeah.
they're just shrieking directly into my window, throwing their shit into my window with their fucking stupid little hands. I hate them. I want them to die.
Their little
right-
hands.
Yeah, they just grab their shit and throw it in my window.
You know. There's been a problem with seagulls here, but the seagulls. This is actually This is actually very appropriate because I live in Dublin. But the seagulls here are a lot more aggressive. And
I don't believe it.
I
don't-
would get rid of
Let,
everything.
let me
Dylan.
tell you about an aggressive
Every
seagull,
single-
Adam.
no, listen. The seagulls. There's an epidemic of tourists saying that they.
There was an epidemic.
Dylan. Do we
There's
need
an
to?
epidemic.
Do we need to put you on the naughty stool?
When you're
Okay.
in the epicenter of the earthquake.
Here's the thing. You just pronounce it epic center. Dylan, are you fucking retarded? Okay, so there's been a thing. There's been a thing here with seagulls. Jesus Christ. Okay, so seagulls here, they actually like steal food. They actually mug people.
so-
But they come up and they gather and they snatch like burgers and sandwiches out of your hand.
Do they like bitch slap you with their little hand?
No, they just come up
Yeah,
and like peck at you. But the thing is, right? I saw a news article where someone said, and I'm quoting directly, first of all, someone had his hamburger snatched by a seagull and it made the news. That's pretty great. But the quote in the headline said, "The seagull came at me like a velociraptor."
That's pretty
Like,
apt.
what does this 1-inch tall bird have to do to remind you of a fucking velociraptor?
1 inch. 1 inch. A single inch.
Okay, I meant to say foot. I don't fucking know. Whatever. My point is, they're not. I've been to like Canada and the States, and I've seen gulls over there, and they're pretty beefy motherfuckers. They're quite scrawny here. They're still aggressive. Like they're horrible here. Did I ever tell you about a time I was walking down a road and some seagulls were circling me like vultures, above? I thought it was in my head. I was like, oh, it's a coincidence. But then they actually started dive bombing like Birdemic.
Listen,
Like they started swooping down. I had to duck to avoid them, and I had to run. And they kept following me for like.
You should carry a pistol with you.
Well,
I'm
get
not
to my
making
story.
that up. That happened to me a couple of years ago. They fucking started like
Holy fuck.
swooping down, like pterodactyls,
okay, let me. Oh god, where's my? No, the battery fell out.
like pterodactyls from the sky. I tell you.
You need to start carrying a pistol with you so that you can shoot them from the sky.
I wish, dude. Okay, no. So let me get to my story. That was all just like pre-fluff.
That was
Let me-
foreplay.
Let me get
Oh,
to
I'm
my
sorry.
whole story here.
Okay,
So-
stick the story at me.
So as I said on the last podcast, I do the fucking paper route delivery thing. I'm coming to the end of that job in a few days, by the way. So that's cool.
All the
but-
macaroni has been delivered. Your
Yeah,
job is
all the
done.
macaroni has been drained from the seas. But I, for this job, it requires a very strange, sleeping pattern. And for the first few weeks, it was a little weird. So after work, I would usually just go to the store and get whatever, something to have a snack on. Usually just bullshit. I need to get bread because I was like, I want to have a fucking sandwich. So I went to the store and it was like 8 a.m. and I was dying. And I was like, oh, I need to get home and just, sit down and eat the thing. And I come into the little courtyard that surrounds our apartment building, the little place where the door is. I see a cute little seagull baby. And I'm like, that is cute. And let me tell you, seeing a cute seagull baby thing, it's like the most terrifying thing ever. Because you know what's about to happen. It's some Jurassic Park shit. I saw it, and
This is like me with the lemur.
exactly. And it was
This is only gonna end badly.
It was doing a stupid little peeping, like peep, and I was like, why is it doing that? What's going on? and I look up. And I see I see this fucking seagull sitting on the roof. It stares me in the eyeballs, and it does fucking like beelines directly towards me. It was like literally exactly like a Five Nights at Freddy's jump scare. That shrill motherfucker going ah!
I'm just picturing like Birdemic, this horrible CGI bird with like a fucking like the airplane sound effect, just and you're there with a clothes hanger, just kind of trying to beat him away.
Let me tell you, there were like 5 of those seagulls who were all fucking like beelining towards me. I was like, oh, this is not good. And
That's horrifying.
And so I just fucking ran. I was like, okay, I need to plan out. I need to do a strategic maneuver here. And so I literally had to like scour the building for like a few minutes, looking around. Let's see it here. And I was just stuck out there, and I was like, I just want to go home. And the thing is, I was wearing nothing but a t-shirt, so if that motherfucker pecked me, it wouldn't
Nothing but a t-shirt?
Yeah. Well, pants too. I wasn't Donald Duck over there.
Yeah, that's what I was picturing. I was wearing nothing but a t-shirt. The mental image you just put in my head was horrifying.
So, I want to tell a story.
Okay, can you calm down? Let me tell you. Okay, so... yeah. All that shit, I finally managed to get inside the building, and then literally every day from then on, my routine would go as follows. I would go outside, I would see the baby seagull running away because I'd open the door, and I would hear, just go. Literally, like every day for like weeks.
That's so shitty, like they just leave him in your path and then give you shit when you like have to walk around him. Like, move the fucking baby out of the way, you stupid walnut-brained fucking velociraptor. Exactly. Stupid creature.
Oh.
They're so horrible. They're so shitty. The thing about seagulls is I can't help but love them because they've got so much character and they're so funny, but they're objectively just the worst creature.
No,
like,
deer are worse.
You know what? I wouldn't know because we don't have them around here, but I have heard that like they're pretty stupid, but I find them very cute.
They literally destroy cars.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
Probably fucking run into you.
You know, I have cousins who are Canadian, and they told me that like if you're driving in Canada and there's a moose on the road, you got to swerve to avoid that shit because it's like Superman. You drive into that thing, your car is fucked, but the moose will just like walk away with a limp.
Yeah, 'cause it's
like
fucking...
You don't realize, like, I had to look up, like, video, you don't realize this, but, like, moose are fucking huge.
Yeah.
They're like giraffes. I like, did you ever see the video of, like, this guy was, like, in, I think it's, like, Alaska or something, and this guy is just, like in his driveway, and these 2 moose are, like butting heads, and they're, like, fighting each other, and there's just people trying to awkwardly get around, like, in their cars. It's really intense. I was like, I would be running and screaming.
They have
this
large, formidable bones.
See, the story I was going to tell, it has something to do with the deer, right?
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
So, I went to a Trump rally.
When was this?
For once, I believe you.
When was this, Dylan?
A couple years back, okay?
Okay.
Right?
I went.
That might be the most retarded question I've ever asked. I went to a presidential Trump rally for his... It's like, I don't know, what was it, Dylan?
No, so I went to a Trump rally. I had the hat, I had the finger, everything.
The finger.
We didn't hear about this at the time.
Yeah, no, because I didn't want to tell anybody.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
So I went to the Trump rally, and I'm sitting there, and Trump.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
Shut the fuck up, Dylan.
None of this is true.
No, it's
okay.
True.
Okay, no, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead.
I'm laughing. Okay,
Go
listen.
ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, okay.
President Donald Trump.
Wasn't president, yes.
Was he president at the time?
No.
Dylan?
No, but I believed in him so much. Alright. So I'm sitting there. He comes on stage. He grabs the microphone, and he announces that he had a special musical guest. The curtains draw back.
Boys only.
No.
Even better.
And all of a sudden, you hear the Dr. Mario theme play. It's
Oh
Brent
my
Applause.
god.
Holy
You lucky son of a bitch.
I got to see Brent Applause live.
Holy shit.
Did Trump join in?
Yeah, he sang the no part of the Dr. Mario theme song.
Why can I picture that so well?
Because he was like, no, no,
Trump was fucking playing the drums.
No, Trump was he was standing there with the microphone, and just every once in a while he'd just go, Dr. Mario.
I hate you so much. What
does this have to do with deers?
Was it a dear
dearly
moment
beloved
to
to
you?
my heart.
Yeah. Okay.
Fucking end your life. Oh my god, kill yourself. I'm shaking with rage right now. Oh my.
Brilliant.
No, but you know,
Bernie Sanders never partake in a Brendel floss thing. He would like at least get Dwayne and Brando on.
That is his fatal flaw.
Yeah.
What if it?
I want to make it. Can I make it very clear that I don't support Trump, and I did not ever go to a rally. So
Really? Because you painted a picture so vividly, I assumed that you were being completely serious, Dylan.
Painted a nice tapestry.
Dylan, do you remember the time we were playing Minecraft and you had, I think, it might have been the other way around, but like, I think I had like a Donald Trump skin and you had a Hitler one, and we walked out of a cave at the same time, and you looked at me and went, well, one of us has to change.
Oh,
I remember that. That was
a funny
good.
goof.
that
We should play Minecraft again. I got a bunch of shaders.
Dude,
Oh hell yeah, dude!
I've been watching so much fucking like, everybody.
Fuck off, you're an incel. What?
Everybody's been playing Minecraft recently, and you've seen that everyone's just fucking playing it again for some reason.
You know, I keep hearing that it's making a big resurgence. Me personally, this is gonna sound really,
I've never stopped playing it.
yeah, I know I sound like a fucking loser, but honestly, it's really relaxing.
Yeah, I like a lot of these things, and that people are playing it again, but I wanted to look something up today, an old video, because I was like, you know what, I'm interested in this. There was this old video I watched where somebody basically mapped out how big Minecraft was and blah blah blah, how the edges of the maps are fucked up and glitchy and weird. And that video was really fun to me, and so I tried to look it up, and I couldn't find it, but I found a fucking Let's Play guy who was playing it, and this is the worst kind of turn for me when I'm watching a video where you start watching it and it's pretty normal, and he's like, okay, we're gonna teleport to the edge of the map and explore it, we're gonna see what happens, and then he's like, I don't know what's gonna happen over here. And he all the time he keeps talking about like, is there gonna be spooky things over at the edge? And I'm like, no, it's probably just gonna be glitchy. And I always thought he was referring to just glitching and shit, but then he was like, I think Herobrine might be here. And it's like, fuck off, just fuck off.
No,
and I see that he built a stupid little fucking door. I was like, don't open this door. I was like, I fucking hate these kinds of videos when they start out genuinely interesting, and then you're like, fuck you, why did you do that?
No, there was a video back a couple, oh man, I think about a year back when Dame Tu Cosita was a big meme.
Dame Tu Cosita, of course.
And it was a video that says, I found Dame Tu Cosita in Minecraft.
Yeah.
And it was like, what would happen is like
That's
this
great,
guy,
though.
he was playing on a server, and very obviously he had another friend like pretending to be a player, like with Dame Tu Cosita skin.
Wait, wait. What is Damu? Whatever the fuck that is.
Dame
Tu Cosita.
Here, let me.
How do you not know of Dame Tu Cosita?
I don't know. It just doesn't
Dame
ring a
Tu
bell.
Cosita.
Oh, this little guy.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Okay, cool.
So, and this guy was just pretending to be
I just remembered this.
monster.
I just remembered this.
And he was like sneaking around corners, and the guy who was recording was like, "All right, guys, we're gonna play. I wanted to start out.
I think it's the same guy. I think it's the same guy that I watched.
He's like, I wanted to start out.
And he never stops talking. There is not a single drop.
Never.
Yeah.
There is not a fucking lick of silence in this video. But he's like, I just wanted to start out a new Let's Play of Minecraft. And then like he's like, all right, so I'm gonna punch some trees here. Oh, what's that? No, that wasn't anything. No. All right, well, I'm gonna go down into the mines and get some Is there something here? Is there something here?
Didn't he keep pronouncing it Dame Tu Cosita?
Yeah, Dame Tu Cosita. He's like, that's Dame Tu Cosita.
This is a guy with a fucking skin of him, and it was like, is this supposed to be frightening? Is this
I don't know what it's. Yeah, I don't know if it's meant to be a creepy or if it's meant to be like cool or like he's passing it off as real or what. I can't get a hold on what it's meant to be. From what you're describing,
it's just entertainment for children,
dude.
Yeah, it's just shit for babies. YouTube's just full of that right now.
Dude, for the longest time, I legitimately thought Dame Tu Cosita and Despacito was the same thing, and so I kept wondering how is this creepy 3D fucking Spanish alien becoming the #1 hit across worldwide? How is this?
Do you remember this trend on YouTube where it was like the boss baby called me on the phone, or whatever the fuck it was?
Well, you saw once back when Etika was committed suicide.
No, did they do that?
No, there was one guy, the J Station made a video where it was like talking to Etika on like a Ouija board.
Jesus
And, like,
Christ.
don't count me on this, but from what I remember, he made it so that on the Ouija board, Etika told the audience to subscribe to the J Station.
What a fucking sociopath. Did you ever see, have you ever seen the fucking Gamer from Mars has a fucking top 5 dead YouTubers video, and in the thumbnail it's like Ed's World of Jew Wario? Yeah. It's like, what the fuck, you... What's wrong with you, you fat pink-faced little fuck?
I have not thought
What's your
Jew
problem?
Wario in a while.
I feel like the Gamer from Mars, like, he feels softly related to the top 15 guy. He feels just a little related to him.
Jesus, yeah, no, completely. YouTubers. They're cut from the same insufferable cloth.
Dude, what would you do if you clicked on a video that was like top 10 dead YouTubers and like the number one, it just had a finger pointing at the screen going, you.
It's like, oh! Dude.
That's like a fucking creepypasta.
That is fucking terrifying, quite frankly. Dude,
I'm gonna get you.
I remember.
I don't know if it's real, but if it is, you're fucked.
I remember something that happened. See, I used to enjoy his videos a lot because he once upon a time he did these like top 5 videos of like, you know, weird 4chan pranks and like shit like that.
Wait, you're talking about the Gamer from Mars or whatever?
Yeah.
I never liked him.
No, he did a lot of cool like videos about 4chan pranks and like shit like that. It was really fascinating because I didn't know about a lot of these. Like, I don't know, they were very interesting videos. And then and you know, he started to make this series where the entire point of the series is just like it's just talking about channels that have declined or gone down, and it's literally just every time a channel has a controversy, he makes a video that's like, what happened to this person?
Yeah, I remember that.
It's constantly just talking about dead channels, and I remember one day he released a new one, and I was just getting so annoyed with it, and so I commented, what was it? What was it I commented? I don't remember because it was really fucking harsh. It was something like, what was it? How does it feel to be a fucking vulture feeding on dead channels, bitch? And I think he deleted my comment and just blocked.
I mean,
I have legitimate beef with the Gamer from Mars.
Start beef. Go.
No, I have beef. I have had beef with him for over 10 years.
In this corner, Dylan Perkins. In the other corner, Gamer from Mars.
I don't think
it's Game Grumps versus.
It's not actually 10 years, but it's been a long time, like over 6 years, I know.
Just cut the bullshit and start your lie, Dylan.
I'm being 100% honest right now. This isn't a lie. When I was young and I didn't know shit, YouTube still had its no, shut up, love.
Let him finish. Let him lie.
No, I'm gonna. This is real because I actually tweeted at him. You can find the old tweet.
Sure.
So back when YouTube had its PM system,
so I think it still does. I think it still does.
Yeah.
But he had a thing.
More like PMS system, cocks.
He had a thing on his YouTube channel that's like, if you want to send me games or like anything, here's my address. And little did I know, the address literally said 123 Not Real Street, but I read it as like Not Real. Yeah. So like I thought it was just a weird sounding name. And so I sent him a copy, or I sent him my DS game of Bowser's Inside Story. And I was like, I want you to review this. And he's like, yeah, sure, I'll review it if you send it to me. And so I sent it. And because it wasn't a real address, they didn't send it back to me. It got lost in transit. And so I just fucking mailed my game into nowhere.
He just mailed it into the fucking void.
And I don't know what happened to it. And I messaged him all angry because I was a dumb fucking kid. And I didn't know that he didn't get it. I was like, why didn't you just stole my game. He's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
That's incredible.
And then he made a video called "Whatever Happened to Dylan Perkins," where he just insulted you.
And so I got like I think I tweeted at him probably in 2015 or 2016. I was like, "Yo, what happened to my fucking game?" And he's like, "I remember our conversation, but I never got it." And so there was like a long gap of me being pissed off at him and not because I thought he stole my game.
Sorry. Hey, shut up,
dude.
Sorry, go on. Sorry, my fucking dogs are fucking freaking out because there's noise outside. So wait, hang on. I'm looking at his. Okay, did he do this on the Gamer from Mars channel?
Yes.
All right, I'm looking at his videos from like 2012. Let me. So did you say he had this thing at the end of his videos?
No, it was in his channel description.
Oh, I suppose it's conveniently gone now, is it, Dylan?
No,
Wow.
this isn't something to lie about. This
No, I'm
happened.
kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
I've come from Mars to destroy Earth, but it didn't work out, so now I'm just playing video games. It's pretty epic, dude.
That's
It's pretty
fucking
epic.
crazy. If it's real, that is scary.
I don't know if it's real,
Yeah.
but if it is,
Yeah,
it's
that's-
very scary.
Honestly, I don't. So here's a question.
Okay.
What would you do if Nintendo made an announcement that like the newest like head of like creating the next 3D Mario game was Linkara?
I would be so excited.
I'd
be
actually want to
so
see how
excited.
that plays out.
And I
But
want to
only
see him
if
in
he-
the Nintendo Direct coming in like, hello, it's me.
Hello, it's me.
Let me
Respect
make
my-
this perfectly clear. The new
Mario
Mario
game.
game will be done when it's done.
Dude, realistically, if that happened, he would literally just search for comments online of people like, what's the new Mario game coming out? And just go on a Nintendo Direct screaming at the camera. Like, getting red-faced. Like,
In case you haven't realized, I've been more than a little busy.
crafting
Me, Linkara.
and the
No
light
one will
bringers and
suspect.
Mario from atop the fourth wall.
oh,
We're taking Mario to the fourth wall.
That's the E3 announcement.
that'd be fucking great.
Fucking Doug Walker gets to voice Mario.
Speaking of, dude,
Mike Michaud voices Mario.
that thing you said, Dylan, it reminds me of the time in 2012 when I bought a I bought a signed copy of
Oh,
to
yes!
Boldly Flee, and it simply was never mailed.
It's straight up.
And-
You know what? You know what? When the Not So Awesome document came out, they had a separate thing for fans to submit their stories, and that's like the
Yeah.
most common thing. It literally, so many people said, "I ordered the DVD, I paid extra to get it signed. It straight up didn't come."
That's
And then the people on the actual Not So Awesome thing, like people like Linkara and Obscurus Lupa and all these people, they were saying, "Yeah, we were promised DVDs and we didn't get them." Like even people behind the scenes just didn't get them.
that's
I don't know what the fuck happened.
see. The funniest thing was that, like, back then, because I was, like, 14 years old, I just sort of accepted that just happens. I was like, okay. I didn't try to do anything. I didn't email her. I was like, okay, I guess.
You know, it's really strange. The new Eddsworld store. And I say it's newly opened, but it's old merch. Like it's the same T-shirt designs that Ed made himself.
Yeah,
I bought like a poster and a T-shirt.
yeah,
I got like the broccoli T-shirt,
yeah,
and I got the poster where it's like
yeah,
they're all on each other's shoulders and they're putting string in the light bulb.
yeah,
And I ordered them both together, like on the same day and everything.
yeah.
And
And Tom messaged you, he DM'd you and said, slow down, pal.
no, I got the poster, but not the T-shirt. Like the poster is on my wall right now, but the T-shirt just didn't come. I don't know what the fuck happened. I think I saw on Twitter a few people were like tweeting about it, but I didn't. I don't think Tom is running it. I think it's like Ed's family.
It's Tom only. He's the only one. And if you say like, hey, it didn't arrive, he just sends you like a menacing, like low-facing shot of his face looking down at you.
That would actually scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
I don't know what Tom is doing now. All I know is someone on my Facebook friends list went to a con he was at, and they have a photo where they met him. I don't know what he's been doing though, because
I've sort of watched his content on and off, just checking it out, and I don't know. I guess he's not as much of an asshole as he was like a few years ago, back when he was like, I don't know, not paying animators and doing shit like that.
I actually do. I will say this. What's that series? The animated series he does, Crash Zoom.
Crash and Burn, because it's a shitty fucking series. Okay.
Well, the guy he got to animate it.
I think.
What?
I think it's One Chomp, whatever.
No, it's
Oh no, yeah, no, it isn't.
I think it's Crash Zoom.
Yeah, Crash
Yeah,
Zoom.
that's the animator. That's him.
No, but my point is, yeah, sorry, I just looked it up. One of the animators, it's a few different people. One of the people, whose name is Billy Crinion, he goes to my college.
Yeah.
Well, the college I just graduated from. And he's a lovely guy. He's very talented. He's really cool. But I was talking to him, and he told me Tom pays very well.
Okay.
So clearly he's learned his lesson.
Good.
But
What a good line.
yeah, Yeah, shout out to Billy. He's a cool guy, but I'm sure he
Yeah,
doesn't need it because
fucking
he's working
Billy.
with
Sounds-
Tomska, and I'm like,
Sounds
Billy!
Like, sounds like somebody
Sup,
fucking
Billy?
Dylan will
You
be
wanna-
hanging out with and like sending like me and Billy drank fucking absinthe.
What's up, Billy? Me and you were gonna party. I'll give you a signed copy of Perk.
This must be like so surreal if he like ever looks me up and just finds this podcast where I literally just dropped his first name and now you guys are acting like
What's up, Billy Connigan?
Dylan, I gotta
That's not
say,
Dylan. No,
Dylan, let me tell you, I watched there was a new iDubbbz video that came out. It was sort of a documentary about this man.
I watched it.
It was fantastic, but it's this documentary about this guy who makes videos, and he is morbidly obese, and he makes videos of him, doing Star Wars fights and all that, and he takes it very seriously, and the documentary's this iDubbbz staying at his house for like a few days and just documenting his journey, and it's a great documentary, but the entire thing felt like it was taking place at your house, Dylan. Like, I could literally imagine you living there. Like, it's literally you, Dylan.
No, my place is not run down.
No,
My
but it
place is
reminds me.
nice.
My favorite part is when it interviews the other guy, and like it's the best kind of build up where the fucking guy, the dopey Star Warsman, he says like, yeah, I don't hang out with him. He's a weirdo. He hits hard while fighting, and you think you're like, oh, that's silly, whatever. I wonder what happens. And iDubbbz interviews him, and it's literally, I know I use this comparison a lot, but it's like a Charles Manson interview, like the way he talks, like he's all jittery, and iDubbbz is like, so what's going on? He says something like, I am a demon. There are demons inside me.
There's literally a part where he's like, do you carry weapons? And he pulls out a knife, and he's like,
Yeah, it's
like this.
Jesus Christ!
What, Adam, have you seen
I
this
got-
documentary?
No, I haven't.
We're
I gotta
watching it
watch
after this, but like that, it's a good
Okay.
documentary, to be sure. It's a great film.
All right,
Great meme.
I like iDubbbz.
Yeah.
I had a dream. I had a dream one time where iDubbbz invited me to do a video with him, and when I got to where we were gonna do it, he tried to kill me with a gun, and the rest of the dream was me hiding from him while he, like, literally just. I met iDubbbz and he was nice to me, and then as soon as he got me alone, he tried to murder me.
I have dreams like that all the time.
Well, where iDubbbz is. I did have a dream, like, on Facebook when they have like memory things where it's like you posted this today 3 years ago.
Yeah. The most useless fucking shit ever.
Yeah, I know, but usually I hate it. But like, literally, just like yesterday, I checked it. I didn't check it, but you know how it's there when you open Facebook,
Yeah.
and it said I posted like 3 years ago saying I had a dream where Ted Cruz was like an SCP and he was chasing me through a fucking like. It was like a horror game. It was like I was in this big like it was just dark hallways, just this weird dank building, and he was just chasing me. And then I finally like found an old like rickety wooden door, and I like ran into the room and like just slammed it right as he like got to the door. And then there was a good chunk of the dream where he was like clawing at the door like a fucking dog and growling, and I was just trying to hold it shut.
You got some
Holy
fucking
shit.
problems, man.
Yeah, you need to. Yeah,
It's my problem is that I've seen Ted Cruz's face, and I wish I hadn't because he's a creepy motherfucker.
he's a frightening little gnome. I gotta say, I gotta say, as dumb as that fucking Trump animated series is, the one where it's like, oh, that's my president. As dumb as that is, they nailed Ted Cruz in it. He's just like this creepy little gnome in it, and he just shows up.
Did you guys see what like Stephen Colbert did like the other night?
What did he do? Did he do a funny impression?
No, dude, it was so funny. Okay, so it was like, guys, what if Trump was in Mario?
No,
was-
no, he didn't.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
what
he
if?
did. It was there's a sprite version of Mario talking, and then there's a
This is like
sprite
some
version of
alternate
then there's
history.
a sprite version of Trump that comes in. He's like, Mario, did you? And it's like, it's so bad.
What if JFK wasn't assassinated? What if World War II was won by the Germans? What if
I
Trump
was
was in
listening-
Mario?
These are great ideas for Star Bombs songs,
Listen,
guys.
I was listening to my favorite animator on YouTube, Adam Powell.
But you
Let
just
me
sound
say.
retarded. You just sound like you don't sound.
Like
We've already-
I know you're doing a Trump impression,
We've
but
already established that.
Yeah.
Listen, there's no way to do a good Trump impression. All right?
There is.
there is. It's called being Zach Hadel.
Yeah, he's the only one that can
Yeah.
do it.
It's
But
true.
any other person can't. You just, it's not.
I
fun.
did think it would be funny when like someone in my class, when I was in college, there was this guy in my class who like was like, "Hey Adam, what would you do if for your birthday one year you were sending out invites to your party?" And then he went on Twitter and just went, "Hey, at real Donald Trump, come to my fucking party, you loser. Here's the address, you fucking stupid mongoloid piece of shit, faggot, son of a bitch." Just do this. And then we're all just sitting around drinking that night, and then a fucking limousine pulls up and he just walks in and he shakes my hand and just goes, "Hello, nice to see you," and then just comes in and he doesn't like cause a fuss or anything. He just comes in, kind of hangs out, has a drink or two, chats to a few people, takes a couple of selfies, and then after like a couple of hours, he comes over, checking his watch. "Well, it's been great. I gotta go though. See you around, buddy. Have a good birthday." And he goes home, and I'm like, okay. Then the next day, I wake up and on Twitter, "I was at stupid low energy Adam Powell's birthday, and it was very bad, very not good, very boring, very stupid."
The soda tasted like crap.
I don't know why that's such a
adult
funny
soda
idea.
was not of my quality.
The cake was very not good, very
The
small.
cake was a
Why would he say that?
Let me tell you about Portal, my favorite game, Portal. GLaDOS was the funniest.
I was playing Portal, and I was...
I discovered that if you put a portal above your head and one below you, you can go in an infinite loop, and it's really cool.
Let me tell you, folks. Let me
You
tell you.
can go flying forever and ever in a tunnel. That I can tell
It's so
you.
beautiful.
That I can tell you.
Let me tell you, folks. Let me tell you, folks. We can fix the energy crisis if we just put all of our engines into portals.
Okay,
one above them.
Mr.
and
Trump,
one
that's
under
good and all,
them.
but we asked you about gun reform. How are we gonna deal with that? What's going on?
I was playing Team Fortress 2.
Everyone just leaves. Everyone just walks.
Let me tell you, I was playing Team
Trump
Fortress
just gets the
2.
orange box. Apparently, he's just playing all the games.
Hold on. I was playing Team Fortress 2. And all of a
Who's your
sudden,
favorite class?
The Spy. The Spy is my favorite. I love him. He's a
I
sneaky,
don't know why that
he's a
feels
sne-
wrong.
He's a sneaky little guy.
He's sneaky little.
I was playing Team Fortress 2 when all of a sudden the economy crashed. Bad people making the economy, bad choices. I am going to fix the Team Fortress 2 economy, okay?
August 2019 to December 2019 was often known as the Orange Box period, where Trump had clearly been given the Orange Box at the White House, and that's all
I was
he
on
would
the
talk
Mario
about.
Kart
in press
server where
conferences.
there is no gravity.
Several shootings happened during this era. Trump did not address one of them. He would only go off on
The
vague
best
rants
Team
about
Fortress
the Orange
weapon
Box.
has to be hands down the black box.
The most
Easily
controversial statement made
I
during
was
this time.
playing. I was playing on the Mario Kart server. on Team Fortress 2.
Guys, have we
Let me
ever
tell you,
gotten so much mileage out of such a fucking unfunny, stupid...
The most controversial statement
This
made
is
during
so-
this time
This
was
is
that
so not funny. Why is
no,
it? Why are we...
the most controversial statement made during the Orange Box period was that Trump had played Half-Life 2 before 1 and had not in fact played Half-Life 1 ever.
I was playing Half-Life 2.
Wait,
and
wait.
the entire crowd just goes boo. Oh, they just
Cricklands.
walk out. Yeah.
You're gonna hate me.
I know.
I've played Half-Life 2, but I haven't played Half-Life 1.
Everyone has done that. I think I did that.
Half-Life 2.
Are we gonna just...
Alright.
Is this gonna be our Trump impression, just saying, I was playing...
And they're like, and they're just like, please don't give him any more games. Then the next year it's like, I have been given Skyrim.
and
these
then
weird early
MapLab
2010s.
visits him and gives him fucking Undertale.
I was playing Undertale. All right.
There's this funny little skeleton man, Sand. He is so funny.
My good friend at Game Theory gave me a good man, always been a good man.
Thank you, MapPat. Very cool.
Matthew Patrick from Game Theory. He's a good man, good family, beautiful
wife. Beautiful wife.
Beautiful face.
Gave me a copy of Undertale, okay? And let me tell you. Let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you, Undertale comes before Deltarune. I don't care what anyone says.
I saw
Oh, we're getting
this
into that, are
cute
we?
little skeleton. He made me laugh so hard.
I was
Let me
rolling and
tell
I
you.
was ruffling.
I shook his hand and it was a fart. I love that.
I was playing
It's so good.
on
It's
Team
so
Fortress 2, the Mario Kart server, And let me tell you,
I could jump so high, it was
looked up-
magnificent.
We've been doing this for like half an hour.
I looked up at the wall and there was funny anime characters, and let me tell you,
And I went,
I laughed so hard.
Oh.
I laughed so hard over the funny little anime characters. I'm
Mr.
gonna bring
Trump,
them
this
back,
press
folks.
conference was supposed to last 30 minutes. Please. can
I'm
you
gonna
stop?
bring them back, folks. I'm gonna bring the anime characters back.
I cannot complete Five Nights at Freddy's 4.
Five Nights
No.
at Freddy's 4
We
is
did
so
No matter
we
how
did
hard I
lower the
try.
difficulty up to find out.
He keeps jump scaring me.
Okay, can we move on, please?
Mr. President,
Okay.
Mr. President, Mr.
Can we
President.
please move
Okay.
on?
Mr. President, what do you think about
And,
the...
and he's
the
like, no more
reports
questions, and he leaves the press
What-
conference, and it's
what-
like a raffle conference. You
runs
see
off.
it? It's like,
He runs off to play fucking Sister Location.
Mr. President, what do you think about the reports that Purple Guy isn't dead?
okay, fuck off.
Low
Listen,
energy
listen.
Purple Man.
Look. I watch Game Theory. Okay.
That's the
all he
end, and he
says.
he leaves the press conference. He walks out the back, and you see it's like that Dick Figures episode where it's like it's just constructed out of like text art. It's like a raffle cup you get inside.
Donald Trump loves stick figures.
Okay, no,
Can we? That feels like it. I feel like that went on for like an hour.
dude, I need to. I have something legitimate to talk about. Okay, it's not legitimate, but
I feel like we need to like that
It's
was
better
so
than
aggressively
Trump
unfunny, but
No,
I
it was
can't believe how
great.
much mileage we
it
got.
was. Don't make me talk about Trump getting Overwatch.
Oh god.
Okay.
Okay,
So,
what was your topic?
so a few days ago, I get a message request on my Twitter, and I'm gonna paraphrase this message very vaguely, as to not give away all the things that have been said. But it was very funny. So I get this message request, and I assumed it was just some sort of porn bot or something, whatever. And I clicked
Sure.
it, and it's this person who says, "Hello, love," and then they go on like a several paragraph, like they're just talking about how they're making this fucking like this porn flash game, and they're trying to consult me for advice. There's so many different things.
For
Like, what should I do with this? They drew a diagram of like the different options that could be in the game, and they're asking me about this, and it's like I'm a consultant on this fucking game, and I'm just
Pretty
like,
good pitch.
yeah. And the entire time, I'm just like, I don't know who this is, and so I respond with, I would personally go with the second one, but it bears mention I don't know who you are, but go for it. And he responds, oh god, I have phlegm in my fucking throat. This is all your fault. But the best part is that my favorite kinds of stories like this, where you're confused, are the parts where the clarification makes it even more confusing. You're like, what the fuck are you... Okay, and so, he goes, I'm that one guy from Skype that tried talking to you and Dradix, and I yelled at you one night and then left because I was in a really bad place. Okay, bye. What do you mean? What do you mean? I don't know. This says why are you consulting? Listen.
Damn.
That's okay. Wow.
I see.
I gotta give them credit that they're very well organized and they've got like diagrams and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
brilliant.
came at you hard.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
I mean, can't wait to see the game when it comes out.
Yeah, exactly.
So, man, I can't believe that I just laughed at funny Trump impressions for like 20
No,
minutes.
That's
It
what I'm
was-
saying. This is a thing we just did. We have to own up to
Dylan,
it.
It was funny. I don't give a frick what anyone.
We were talking about that before, where it's like, isn't it funny how like when like Trump was like doing his thing, and it was like getting pretty clear he was like and then he won,
yeah.
and then it was like all the comedians in the world were all going, oh, this is great, he's going to be a gold mine for material, but that well went dry so
It's
fucking
only
quickly.
funny if you go super absurdist and I'm talking about stupid
Yeah.
shit like
Yeah, like he's-
and Orange.
Like,
like
him
he's-
playing Portal 2. Like, like that's it.
Like, or like the fucking Oni plays hypothetical where he starts T-posing and flying through the sky. And CNN are like fucking making news articles. How embarrassing!
See,
A T-pose, really?
I think the thing is that when you try to make a joke about Trump, you just got to make it not political at all. It's got to be based around his personality.
Yeah, because that's the funny stuff. Just the fact that he's a big, stupid, weird man.
Yeah,
like,
He's
dude,
really funny looking.
Like, if you try to input your own politics into it, like then it just becomes not funny at all because you're just
You're gonna
trying
have
to mess
you're
with
gonna have
us.
Turkey Tom coming after you.
But if you're just saying like, I was playing Portal 2 and I caught Johnson made me laugh so hard. The lemonade.
His
a
name is
lol.
Cave John. Dude, I just imagine like it all comes in the orange box there. Everyone was so fucking just so glad. It's like
He got the
don't-
orange box for
no.
Christmas and he was obsessed with it. It's like
Yeah.
his favorite thing for a year.
And he has this fucking autistic obsession with it. He keeps being like, I have hacked into the game files and I have looked into it. And then once all that's done, everyone's so happy. Okay, finally, we're gonna talk about the issues finally. And then next press cover, he's like, I have received Portal 2 on my Steam account. I was given it.
I just imagine
streams.
Trump like going into the files and like editing a texture and like putting a smiley face on like Gladys or something, but not realizing that doesn't change it for everybody. So he's like, I hacked Portal 2. I changed it for everybody. GLaDOS has a funny little face now. And it's
Beautiful
He
face.
has a funny little face now.
He doesn't realize that it's just client side. So
What a
or he downloads a mod to like make like the portal effect like a fart sound. And he's just like laughing really hard at that.
that is.
I
funny,
laughed
to be fair.
so hard. Just his fucking inflections.
Can we move on from Trump playing video games?
Yeah. Let's get on with
No,
it.
that's
Okay,
what makes
okay,
it funny.
okay,
The
here's something.
reporters being like, I don't want to do. Why is he talking about?
Okay, I'm gonna need you guys to explain this to me because I've only seen it mentioned, but I don't know
What
what's
is the
going on.
funny?
What is happening with Twitter and people leaving and stuff?
So Twitter is essentially shadow banning people for retweeting their own tweets.
What is shadow banning?
Shadow banning is banning you from the site without your knowledge, basically making it so you don't appear on anybody's timeline. So you essentially been banned, but you don't know it.
That is horrible. That's really cruel.
And they're doing that if you
Freaked out.
retweet your own tweets.
Yeah.
And since so many artists depend on retweeting their own tweets,
Yeah.
you know, people are jumping ship. Newgrounds are trying to get people back, but then there's the whole debate about them harboring racists and pedophiles.
Listen, I really
That's what they all fucking say. Like,
this whole thing about Newgrounds being shitty and toxic, this is a whole debate I keep saying. All I want to say about it is if you're going to go after Newgrounds for being quote-unquote toxic because it has toxic people, you have to apply the same logic to the likes of Twitter, because it's like, fucking Shadman is on Newgrounds. It's like, he's on Twitter as well.
every single horrible person is on Twitter. That's almost a fact. Like,
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. You know, we weren't gonna get into this. We talked about it, but I gotta say, Aaron Hanson, Ego Raptor, like funny Aaron, he has finally just dealt the death blow to his to his reputation, I would say, and I'm so glad he finally just did it, because it's been so long. It's been such a fucking cold war of like him not wanting to talk about, but like subtly, like, I don't know, just
There's been a bad energy for years.
yeah, just completely
about it.
distancing himself from everyone.
You can just feel it in the air that he's just doing everything he can to distance himself from that crowd.
Exactly, but he refuses to just come out and say it. But about a week ago, when Sir Palo released this brilliant fucking video about storytime animes, it was hilarious and fucking insane. Like most.
I
of
love
Palo's
Sir Palo
videos.
so much.
See, what I love about a video, and all of Sir Palo's videos, is what I love about most things like that, is that when it's like 50% biting criticism, and the other 50% is just like complete and utter fucking nonsense just for the shit of it, and you don't know which one is which. You're like, what? What the fuck? Like, the thing where he's like, this isn't criticism, this is piss, and that just becomes a thing for the entire thing where he's just drinking piss out of a teacup. He's like, no!
That's why the idea of getting really offended by him is extremely weird to me, because there's nothing here. It's just stupid.
But nonetheless,
I like to,
it's just silly.
Aaron Hanson was not so happy about it. I believe his tweet was, and I will quote it directly. He said, "Pee pee poo poo, I'm mad about the thing," and he basically just like the entire tweet chain is just him being like, Newgrounds breeds toxicity. Everyone's horrible people. Blah.
I think he said something to the effect of, the way you're making this cartoon reminds me of the Newgrounds types that I used to know, and being around them didn't help me. It just something like that. Something about he used
your bank account.
he used the term like Newgrounds types as if it's like a derogatory term.
See, I think
But it's like if you're gonna look, I completely understand. There's pros and cons to every kind of website, and with Newgrounds, the idea of the kind of anything goes mentality. Sure, you're gonna have your fair share of edgelords who are using it as a license to just say whatever the fuck they want. Okay, but at the same time, though, there's great people on the site as well. Like, I mean, like if you're gonna paint it all with a broad brush and say the whole website is really bad and toxic just because of a few edgelords, it's like, so you think Ed's World, Harry Partridge, fucking Rice Pirate, like you think these people are like psychopaths?
Yeah, and there's so many things have changed on Newgrounds. Like, I've realized this because for the last year or so, I have just like casually checked out things on the front page. Like, I gotta say, just for the record, Newgrounds is the greatest art hosting platform currently around because it doesn't fuck with the quality of your fucking images, and it just presents it, and you can rate it and blah blah blah. It's perfectly presented, but that's why every now and then I just look at the front page and all that shit, and it's fairly diverse in a lot of ways. There's a lot of different kinds of art. I don't know.
Once again, I recognize the pros and cons, and I'm not saying everyone on there is a fucking saint, but
well, yeah,
it's sites like Newgrounds and then sites like Tumblr and Twitter are kind of two sides of the same coin. So with something like Twitter or Tumblr, there's always a feeling
Tumblr doesn't
of
exist anymore.
Well, I know, but I feel like because everyone who was using Tumblr migrated to Twitter, it's kind of the same mentality.
Yeah.
It's this idea of even if you yourself, okay, the thing is with Twitter, I will say, I know Tumblr had a reputation for being, people are very easily offended, and there's kind of this cancel culture thing, and
Twitter is so much worse.
I find Twitter is worse because when someone gets caught up in the whole cancel culture thing, on Twitter it's so much harder to defend yourself because of the restrictions on your posts, and everything has to be short. And the fact of the matter is, most issues are very nuanced, and you just cannot have a nuanced discussion on Twitter unless it's in messages. And so if someone on Twitter, say, and I'm not talking about people who are actually like assholes, I'm not talking about people who are like actually making, I'm talking about people like, I don't know, people like fucking Spaz Kid or whatever, like, someone who's completely harmless, but they like a bit of edgy humor once in a while, like whatever.
Yeah.
Or like fucking Max Gilardi.
Yeah, some shit like that. Someone who's
that's a pretty good example.
Yeah, someone who isn't hateful, isn't bigoted, but they like being hyperbolic once in a while. If someone like that gets targeted and they choose to like make a post and make a public statement and defend themselves, like there's usually 9 times out of 10 it just goes worse for them, because when you're typing out a post on Twitter, you have to like go back and shorten things down and trim lots of things so that it fits into the character limit.
Well,
and then as a result, you end up phrasing it in an awkward, clunky way, and then you have to make like a bunch of follow-up tweets where you go, "Well, no, what I meant was," and then it just leads to that whole thing.
That's why most people just like type on their phone notes and just take screenshots.
Oh
yeah,
I hate that fucking stereotype. Everyone does that shit. It's like it's always the iPhone phone notes. Just like they want to make it seem like this was just like off the cuff, man. I'm just doing this from the heart. It's like they don't want to do a fucking formal thing because they want to make it look like I don't know. Everyone.
But
does
at the same time though, I see why, because you cannot make long posts on Twitter and you cannot explain yourself very well on Twitter.
I know, but everyone just does.
No matter what happens, you are not going to be able to make an apology and be forgiven.
You will never satisfy the people who hated you. It just won't happen. They just hate you.
If someone like these people, like say, going after the Newgrounds crowd,
fucking people.
I mean, the kind of people who are like going around making these allegations, not allegations, but like assumptions about Newgrounds people, like they're all just a bunch of toxic assholes. If these Newgrounds people like turned themselves around Aaron Hanson style and became like really just conscious of all this shit, and like they became like that, like tomorrow, the amount of Twitter posts you would see of a friendly reminder that such and such said this thing 5 years ago.
Yeah.
If you gave these people what they want, what they claim to want tomorrow, they just find something else.
Here's I gotta say, that whole Aaron Hanson thing, it was short-lived, but the greatest moment in the last year of Twitter, to me, this was like, I laughed so goddamn hard when I saw this. Like, I had a proper belly laugh, because it was like, it was so perfect, because after Aaron posted that thing where he was like, these damn Newgrounds types, this is, blah, blah, story time.
Why are you giving him a Chris Chan voice?
I don't know, because he's fucking stupid, but, after all that, people were kind of quick to point out, hey Aaron, the things you've made are pretty the things you made back in the day were fucking off the wall. I think they wouldn't like that, would they? You know, for example, when you made that cartoon where, what was it, a shark raped a girl?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
What was it? Him and Susie in a call, and like she was like
so
saying
many
the
things
N-word.
like that. Yeah,
That was the thing. My stance on that is,
see, I don't care about any of this, but the
Yeah.
kinds of people who would care are the kinds of people that are around Aaron, and that's what's so funny. The fact that,
like, I can say like me, I'm not a public figure, so it doesn't do it to me.
but you're
at all.
Dylan Perks of Boys Only.
Yeah, you're right. But like, for example, I know, like me, I've said the N-word. Like, I was an edgy fucking teenager who said.
we all had our
shit.
phases. Newgrounds was
I say
basically
good.
like, Newgrounds was essentially a gathering place for like edgelord 14-year-olds who watched way too much South Park.
Yeah, and that's what it's going to. I mean,
And while I'm not, I don't think that's like the pinnacle of like, I do think in a way you need an environment like that to get all that shit out of your system and learn. Because like, and the thing is, a lot of these quote unquote Newgrounds types, I learned so much about animation from them.
Yeah.
From independent animation. Like, Eddsworld was one of the first, like, online animated things I found, and it was how I discovered, oh, wait, shit, you don't need a big studio to animate stuff. You can just, if you got a copy of Flash and you just teach yourself how to do it, you can make whatever you want just in your room.
You can make
And
Kermit
then-
go to heaven.
Yeah, it was actually hell. And then, like, Kermit Sins in my canon. And then, like, Chris's and Harry's tutorials were how I just learned everything I knew before going to college. Everything I knew about animation. And it's like, say what you want about Aaron. Sure, he's a lot more sanitized now. He's a lot more marketable now. But, like, is there really going to be a generation of people inspired by fucking Starbomb? It's like,
exactly. Well,
probably, but like, I don't know.
there's not going to be a generation of people inspired by Starbomb.
I'm just saying.
I've seen a lot of people into the Star Lightbringer, whatever the fuck video it's called. I don't know. I do see these kinds of people who are inspired by this, and it makes me scared. But that's
okay. So maybe it's unfair to say people won't be inspired by it. But my point is,
idiots will be inspired by dumb shit.
Well, I don't want to look. People can enjoy whatever they want, but my point is,
They can.
my point is, say what you will about Newgrounds, and there's a few bad apples in there, but by and large, that community has been way more encouraging and accepting to me than the kind of people who watch
also,
Game
it's-
Grumps.
I think
The
it's
important
better
thing is that
for-
it's gotten way better. It's gotten way better
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah,
It's
because
not-
everyone had their but it's
Everybody-
like, oh,
everybody-
Aaron changed. It's like, what? So yeah, but so did everyone else. Just because they're not as drastic,
Yeah.
See, Newgrounds turned from a place for 14-year-old kids making George Bush flash games. It turned from that.
Don't.
What's- what-
making them. Please.
What?
I'm still making
So
them.
it turned from that into where I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the majority of the audience of Newgrounds today is adults.
Undoubtedly, because it's a fucking website that's like 80,000 years old.
Everyone who was a
edgy
kid when they were using Newgrounds, all those people are like in their 20s now.
and they're
Yeah.
all still using it.
Faggots.
The people who started out using it never left, and the ones who the new edgy kids moved to places like Twitter, 4chan.
Yeah, I think
I
the
mean,
edgy
4chan
kids moved to
and
4chan of late.
Well, and see, that's another thing is that it's better for them to be on. It'd be better for the edgy kids to be on Newgrounds than on 4chan.
Yeah.
Better to get your edgy shit out
Yeah,
in a
be
creative
creative,
way.
yeah, exactly.
You need
than,
to. I
than
think.
just typing out how you hate minorities on 4chan.
I think you need to like fuck up and be called out and learn from your mistakes. But the
Yeah,
part,
I mean,
but the part of the process that a lot of the internet seems to forget is letting them learn. I think cancel culture tends to. You made a joke that people didn't like, and then you come out and say, okay, so that joke was in bad taste. It was inappropriate. I shouldn't have said it.
Exactly.
And then
Fucking-
people and then people should go, yeah, fair enough. You know, I've said worse because don't lie to me. You have. Everyone has. But then that should be the end of it. You should be able to, you know,
Yeah,
unless
see-
unless you're doing irredeemable shit like fucking killing people or whatever.
Speaking
You know what I mean?
of-
It's like
take a look at Spaz Kid making the fucking Street Fighter Showed. Like that,
you know.
like if that was made today,
Oh my god.
yeah,
that
people
would
would
be-
want his head on a
that
pike.
would be irredeemable,
Yeah.
Yeah, that,
right?
It is kind of fascinating to watch that in sort of a Trump mask replica way.
Where
Honestly,
it's
just
literally
watching
a
that and just being
video-
like, what is?
A video painting a woman as a big fat pig who rapes and fucks.
And there's just this like the best part of it was like Corey admitting on the podcast was like you know the guy who's just consisting of Grease who's just the animator is just like a fucking weirdo the entire time. He admitted he knew nothing about that guy. He just made him into a greasy weirdo for no reason.
Like you know when Aaron said that video by Sir Paolo reminded him of old Newgrounds. Thing is, I agree that it reminds me of old Newgrounds, but in the sense that it's just completely off the walls, bonkers and stupid. And I think if you're going to be offended by a piece of art or a film, it should be something that's actually coming out and saying something hateful or ignorant or whatever. Stuff like Sir Paolo and Newgrounds and stuff is so just silly and off the wall and just try hard. It's like there is no need to be offended by it because it's just so silly.
There is
Yeah.
no way that you can compare Street Fighter Chode's literal, harassment. Like that is just
yeah,
harassment.
it really was.
That it's like
Yeah, it's
like,
just fucking like crazy and horrible.
there's no way to
weird.
compare making fun of somebody called painting them as fat, ugly, them shitting, like this weird shit
Yeah.
to making fun of of a stereotype of a certain content.
Yeah.
Where it's like my anxiety. Okay, whatever. You might be upset about that, but you aren't being made fun of in the way that fucking Rina-chan was
Yeah,
being
you
made
should
fun of.
you should be
Like,
lucky
there
that
is-
this isn't 2010.
Yeah, you should be lucky that you aren't being painted as Rina-chan.
I remember there was something that was said on an early Sleepy cast. I think it was either Corey or Zach or someone said this, and it always stuck with me because this is basically how I feel about the Newgrounds kind of mentality, or like that group. It's like it's so easy to look at artwork by people like that, like their cartoons and stuff, and just assume that they're just completely batshit insane and like just unhinged.
Yeah.
Those people tend to be in real life the most down to earth,
Reserved. I don't know.
reserved people because we all have fucked up weird thoughts, but these people, they get to channel those thoughts into their cartoons.
Yeah.
And they have an outlet where they can get it out there and just deal with it by turning it into something funny. And you may not find it funny, but the point is that's what they're trying to do. And a lot of those people are fairly just normal when you like meet them in real life. And I say this as someone who has met like people like Chris and Niall and stuff. Like in person, they're so laid back and so reserved and so nothing like you'd imagine them from their videos. And then it's like the people you got to watch out for are the ones making like shows for babies who have no outlet.
Yeah.
And they're
They
just
know
I
they
just
know how
gotta-
to game it.
I just gotta wrap up this train of thought that I began a few minutes ago about the culmination of what Aaron was doing. It was he said all that things blah blah blah, but then of course after all of his new fans had been exposed to the old things, Aaron went into panic mode and he made this post where it was like the normal like iPhone iPhone text thing where it was just saying like, guys, please, I've changed. It was so fucking funny because you could see the desperation. It was like, oh my god, he's about to be ripped apart by his own community and he needs to stave it off. It's like watching the fucking Lion King, seeing the ending and he's fucking getting devoured by his.
What stuck out to me about that quote unquote apology was he never addressed the whole Newgrounds thing, and he never addressed Sir Paolo.
Yeah.
He only talked the things about him that came out of the woodwork because he opened his mouth.
Yeah.
So, like, he really didn't because he opened it by saying, "I've been trending on Twitter in the last few days, and since I'm trending, some things have come out about me, and I want to address those things."
Come out.
but he never addressed why he was trending or what he said. So it's like, I don't know. It just rubbed me the wrong way. But I mean, look, I don't know the guy personally. I don't know what happened between him and the gang. So whatever. I just found it odd.
Yeah, I see.
I got to admit though, because I mean, I had a couple of people kind of say to me, and I was conscious of it myself. Like I made a couple of tweets towards the end of that day where I was like, I just realized I've just basically just been tweeting about this all day, even though I don't know Aaron personally and I know nothing about him. It's just the fact that I haven't liked his content for a long time, and I'm one of the... There's kind of a group of people who are saying, you know, oh, he's sold out, he's watered himself down, and I'm kind of in that... I kind of have that same opinion. So it is cathartic when... Look, it's pure schadenfreude. It's just like when someone you don't like is getting called out for any reason whatsoever.
For the monster he helped create. For the fucking monster.
It's really just the whole Newgrounds thing. What I'm trying to say is, I completely admit that it was just... I was just getting a kick out of watching him get called out.
Oh, that was totally what it was. Yeah.
And the thing is, it's like, I know a lot of people like Aaron and are going to say that's unfair, but all I'm saying is, think of someone you don't like for whatever reason. I don't mean someone who did something bad or did something morally objectionable. Just someone who makes stuff online that you just find irritating, like someone like
Cricklin.
Yeah, that fucking asshole. And then just imagine that they're getting called out online and they're trending and people are like making memes about them. And even if it's an issue that you're not involved in, it's a race that you just do not have a horse in, you're gonna find it a bit amusing. It's gonna be kind of fun.
You guys do realize that if we ever get up there, there is years of material.
Here's the thing.
Here
The thing about that is,
over.
I've prepared, like mentally, I've prepared for this millions of times, and that's why I just keep doing everything that I've done for the last few years. I just don't stop. If you don't stop, you can never be cancelled, because you'll be cancelled over and over again.
I try to just approach it with the same mentality that the old Newgrounds guys do, which is, yeah, I had my phase where I made edgelord jokes, but you have to have that phase to learn from it, and, you know, is it a little bit embarrassing that stuff is out there and you can find it? Sure, but it's just unfortunate that everyone has that phase, and we just happen to be in a generation where we had access to the internet while we were having that phase, so it's out there.
Yep.
It's unfortunate, but there's no sense in lying about it. There's no sense in trying to hide it.
Yeah, I mean, like literally,
Dude.
And in the grand scheme of things,
never had that phase, you're lying. I don't care who you are. You went through a phase.
No one is the same person they were 5 years ago. Like, I look back on stuff I said fucking a year ago when I cringed, and it's like, wow, that's what I thought was funny back then. But in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather have stuff in my past that's a little bit cringy and a little bit embarrassing than have, like, you know, actual skeletons in my closet. Like, oh, I did something super fucked up. It's like, there's much worse things to have in your past that you're ashamed of, but I guess I'm just lucky that for me, the worse it gets is like edgy jokes and stupid cringy statements that I thought were really intelligent when I was like 16.
Yeah, see, I mean, I just have to keep paying the woman to not tell anybody anything.
Exactly.
See, jokes like that are what I'm talking about.
Dude, my plan was not that. I'll tell you, my plan, if I get called out for something like that, like...
My plan?
For example, if somebody, was like, you said the N-word is thing, I would just send them a compilation of me saying it, like, you missed a few, and then I just keep going. The end. And I'd add one at the end. Just say it.
Just like, yeah. See,
just fuck you.
See, what you're doing is like... We're both kind of like... So my method is kind of...
Love is chaotic evil, okay?
Very much.
You're like chaotic evil, and I'm like... I don't know what the fuck I am, but I'm probably not evil.
You're chaotic neutral.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay. You're probably like neutral evil, Dylan, because like... Love is just like an agent of chaos. You're just kind of like whatever I can get away with. Well, I'm just kind of like... I'm just trying to stick to myself, and if it affects me directly, I'll get involved, but most of the time I'm just kind of sitting here doing whatever.
Yeah.
But,
See, love. On the one hand, I respect that approach where it's kind of like if they call me out, I'm gonna just like double down on it, and like do that. I would like to be able to do that, but like the truth is, like I truthfully have, like I there's certain words I personally try to avoid throwing around, but the same.
I wouldn't say it now that much, but if somebody fucking was gonna hang me for it, I'm saying it.
But even like the word faggot, it's like when I was like 15, that was like every second word from me, just because I thought it was funny. And now it's like if
you guys, sorry, go ahead.
But I was just gonna say, like I'm sure I've probably used it 1 or 2 times in this podcast during a fucking joke or whatever. But
yeah,
I think Anthony Fantano did a video on like the N-word, and he basically said I'm pro-choice when it comes to it. I don't use the word myself, but if someone else uses it, I'm not gonna lecture them. And that's kind of how I feel about it. It's like there's certain kinds of jokes I'll stay away from and won't do anymore because it's just not who I am anymore. But like, who cares? It's I'm not gonna go on Twitter and like go to people making those jokes and be like, "Hey, bro, can't say that anymore."
Yeah,
it's just how exhausting would it be to live your life that way?
See, you guys know more than anybody that I've said some bad things.
Oh, you're a sociopath.
You've done some bad things.
I've done some bad things, but now you guys have watched me change.
Yeah, I mean, you have.
Dylan actually is the person behind the Newgrounds account that makes those meet and fuck games.
No,
I am. I made every single one of those myself.
Hey, Dylan, guess what? Dylan, guess what?
What?
They fucking suck.
I understand that. I was pumping them up.
Dylan, do you remember that time that you were with the Jacksepticeye profile picture was just like tweeting things, and what was it you said?
I don't remember any of this.
Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna bring it up. I'm not gonna do it.
You already have brought it up.
Okay, fine. Some random girl on Twitter with a Jacksepticeye profile picture was saying something, and
now can we preface this with this was most likely in like 2013?
This was most likely 20 years ago.
Oh yeah, I will say this. I think out of everyone in this group, Dylan has probably mellowed out the most.
I'm just doing what Owen did on the Christmas special, where he was like, "Love, do you remember when you called that girl a cunt on Facebook?" that was hilarious. That's one of my favorite moments where we were just talking about Christmas, and Owen just goes, "Love, do you remember that time you called that girl a cunt?"
See, I'm different. I'm different now. I wouldn't say what you're about to say now.
Okay,
so just tell me.
Yeah, no, it's fair. We get that.
Yeah, but girl had a Jacksepticeye profile picture. Dylan says something like "kill yourself" or something like that. I believe that was the exact thing that was said.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah. That was not a fun one.
But I mean, we all have our, like what was it I said to? We have a friend named Julia, and one time like I made a post where, and this is literally like I did not mean this. Just when I was like 17 or whatever, I thought this would be funny. What was it? I made like a really heartfelt post about my mental health or whatever, and everyone was commenting like, "Oh, we're here for you, Adam. We're all your pals." And she commented like, "Chin up, buddy. It'll be okay." And what did I reply? I just said, "I don't like you, Julia."
No, it was fuck off, Julia. I don't like you.
But that just, I'm sorry, I completely just, in my head, I was like, oh, this would be funny, but if you see that on Facebook with no context, it's like, Jesus Christ, what a psychopath. But did I ever tell you guys about, like, the funniest tweet I ever received from Chris?
Okay, what?
This was like, maybe, like, I think it was last Christmas, so, like, it wasn't too long ago. He posted saying that he was coming back to Ireland for Christmas, and he said, hey, any mutuals want to meet up for a drink? Any mutuals of mine who are want to meet up for a drink and, catch up? And a few people were replying, hey, yeah, let's do it. And I just replied, like, I think I didn't, like, say anything like, yeah, let's do it. I think I just replied, like, a winky face or something like that, like, something kind of sly. And I replied that, and he just replied to me, sorry, bro, I hate you.
The one that I love was, I think he said this like a really long time ago to you, where you were gonna beat up, and he said something like, "Oh, well, this is beat up Amazon. We're all gonna go there, and you're gonna get beat up."
Yeah, I was like, I messaged him, and I was like, "Hey, I can't wait to meet up, Chris. It's been a while." And he said, "I'm gonna fucking kick the shit out of you when I see you. You're fucking dead, dude." And I was like, "Oh shit, really?" And he was like, "Oh, you are fucked. You better watch your back, bro." And I was like, "Oh, that's a shame." And he said, yeah, guess what? This convention, it was actually called Adam Dies Con, but they have to change it. And I was like, okay.
Okay, Chris.
I was like, okay, I'll see you
were
there.
like 15.
I was like, okay, I'll see you there, and he was like, yeah, cool. And I met up with him and Niall, and it was very nice.
Brilliant.
I think the funniest thing that happened to me lately with like another person was Stamper messaging me out of nowhere.
Oh yeah,
asking me what my where I lived.
yeah.
That was a weird saga.
I was telling my friends are crazy about like Newgrounds stuff, and I was telling them about that, and we like couldn't believe it because it's just bizarre.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys had the screenshots, so you know what happened.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But oh man. Anyway, I think, man, what a wild ride we've had today.
What a wild boy.
I like how at this before we started recording, it was like
we swore we weren't going to talk about Newgrounds.
we were like let's not let's stay away from that because I was
And
like
also,
because there's a whole thing on Twitter and it's really tiring and I'm gonna keep my mouth shut and then what can you do?
I do also distinctly remember you saying, Adam, we can absolutely not talk about Trump Orange Box. We can't talk about that, guys. And we're like, okay.
I said, listen, I know it's the funniest thing we've ever come
I know
up
it's
with
tempting.
ever, but we absolutely must stay away from it.
Yeah.
Last word on the Newgrounds thing, I cannot make it clear enough that I don't condone every single person who uses the site.
Well, yeah, obvious.
I just don't think it's fair to paint it with a broad brush and say that it's just a horrible cesspool that's not redeemable at all just because there's a few assholes on it.
Yeah.
It's just like, I don't know. I just think if you're going to say that about Newgrounds, you should say it about Twitter and YouTube and everything. Like, you don't share a brain with everyone who uses the same site as you.
I do, actually.
Okay, well, unless you're Dylan.
Well, you guys ready to wrap it up?
Dylan.
I suppose so.
Just an announcement for next podcast. We're kicking Dylan off. Okay, so we're gonna.
Yeah, we're replacing us with
replacing Dylan with a sound alike. It's very similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when they recast someone on a TV show. We're just getting some voice actor who like vaguely sounds like him, but not quite. We're getting Dan Castellaneta.
Hell yeah.
Dude, most of my time, my leisure time spent lying in my bed watching YouTube videos and getting pissed off at the YouTube videos. There was one video I watched that had like weird Simpsons facts, and the guy pronounced Dan Castellaneta as Dan Castellaneta.
Castellaneta.
Fuck you.
I think we should say also, thanks for the good response to the Casket King interview.
Oh yeah.
It has gotten more views than other things usually get, and we like doing it, so we're probably gonna.
I haven't checked.
I fucking love that guy.
It's our most viewed video
Great man.
in a couple months.
If I had the motivation to like actually animate, I would so animate the segment where we met Grandma.
Oh, that was beautiful, man.
That was a fucking great moment.
The last video of ours to crack 100 views was a very cat piss Halloween. So
Oh yeah, beautiful meme.
I don't think I was there for that one.
You
yeah,
sure
then
weren't.
the final episode of the Chilling Skeletons podcast was almost 200. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I think we're gonna try to get some more weird people on.
Yeah.
I still wanted. Are you implying Casket King is weird, Dylan?
He's a fucking weirdo, but
Don't
we're
say
all
that.
weird, so.
Don't say that.
Hey, I'm a fucking weird.
I was gonna say I still really want to do like a Mystery Science Theater type thing where we watch fucking shitty movies because
We will.
there's so many horrible movies I want to show you guys.
Yeah.
Well, we got a lot of shit coming up. So thanks guys.
Oh, by the
for
way, I
listening
want
to
to
the
podcast. I want to dedicate this podcast to Rip Torn, the beautiful man from Freddy Got Fingered who died in the meantime. This podcast came out.
Rip Torn.
As a great man once said, "What the hell are you doing with my scuba here, you imbecile?"
I'll
Rest in peace, Corey's dad.
I'll play us off, everybody. You
Okay,
ready?
play.
All right.
Rip Torn.
It's Rip
Tore a
Torn
hole in
time.
my heart. Rip Torn.
It's Rip Torn time.
Tore a hole in my heart.
It's Rip
Tore a
Torn
hole in
time.
my soul.
What the hell are you doing in my scuba gear, you imbecile?
Rip Torn. Tore a hole in my heart.
Tore a hole in my heart. Tore a hole
Rip Torn. on my heart.
Rip Torn, everybody.
See you later, buddy.
Rip Torn.
Cockball torture.
Rip
You ruined it.
Cockball torture.
You ruined it.
Torn.
Damn it.
Rip.
We could have had a nice, like, back and forth.
Rip Torn.
Fuck this podcast. I'm ending it.